Hey, good morning, it's Marty. Today we're going to talk a little bit about VA loans. And first off, I want to thank all the veterans, especially the ones in my family. Dad, you did a ton of years. My father did many years in the regular Air Force regulars, and they did about 35 years out here at the 180th Air Force Base. My brother-in-law Eric Koss was an egress technician there, and then up at Selfridge. I've had neighbors and friends, and I feel like I grew up in it, which is why I'm a little spoiled, because VA loans haven't been intimidating to me. In fact, they're something I consider an honor to do. They're a great product, and I want to clear up a couple of myths. First of all, it's not a one-time use. As a veteran, you don't need to save your eligibility. There's a different funding fee for subsequent use than the original funding fee, but it's nominally higher. A VA loan doesn't require a down payment, although you can put a down payment if you want. It does not have PMI, so there's a one-time funding fee that gets added into what you borrow, so you don't even have to pay it in cash, and that's in lieu of PMI and in lieu of having a down payment. On many days for the last 2 years, VA loans also then have a better interest rate than a conventional loan. So it's a better rate and no PMI and no required, again, although you can put money down payment. It's also not that you can only have one VA loan at a time. There's what's called a subsequent use formula, and if the new house you're buying is above $144,000, it's really not that complicated. So you wouldn't necessarily even have to have sold and paid off the old VA loan to be able to use the new one. There are all kinds of myths about house requirements and all that, and really it's not anything near as bad as you might have heard out there. The rumor just doesn't match the fact. If you have any questions, just call. If you know a veteran, call. Remember, veteran could mean guardsman, somebody that's in the Air National Guard, Army Guard, Coast Guard, Guard. It could be somebody in the regulars. It could be somebody who was in a short time but was separated for disability reasons that may not meet the requirements otherwise. In fact, if you have more than a 10% service-connected disability, the funding fee is waived in almost all cases. I'm working on a file right now for a young man who's a guardsman. He was deployed to Guam this past year. He was there for the required amount of time, and Guam was considered a theater of war area or support area. So even though he hasn't been a guardsman for 6 good years, he's eligible because of his deployment to Guam. Sometimes we need a points letter, sometimes we get DD-214s, but again, we can walk you through all that. It's really not bad. You don't need to get your own eligibility. In most cases, we can do it online and do it electronically. So all you need to do is call, give us a little info, and then we'll help walk you through it. So to finish up, what I wanted to say is thank you. In fact, last week I was reminded of how great veterans are outside of all the things we normally think of. One of my best friend's sons is now a guardsman. He's going to be a pilot out at the 180th coming up. And we had a tree fall in our house last week during the windstorm. And my son, unbeknownst to me, had Snapchatted out a picture of it. And my friend's son, who's in the military, saw it. And his only reach out to me was, when do you need me there and how can I help? And that's my experience with all of you who are veterans. You just operate that way. You're the best people I've ever met, and I want to thank all of you for what you do for us. Not just what you do when you're in the service, but how you act and how you behave every day when you interact with the rest of us. Thank you, and let me know how I can help.